Hello there squad, Rob here, nice to see you. Yes it is, so in today's video we're going to be discussing Gigantamax Grimmsnarl and how you can use it for competitive double battles. Firstly I'd just like to say I really like Grimmsnarl. I like its design, I like its shiny form, I think they did a really good job. I think its G-Max form looks amazing as well as its shiny variant as well. In terms of ability, it's got Prankster, so status category moves have the speed priority increased by +1, which is very good. Moves increased by this that are used on dark type Pokemon though, however, will fail. Frisk reveals the opponent's held item, not a bad ability by any means. The only ability I have an issue with is Pickpocket. You're never going to use this on Grimmsnarl, let's be honest. It's far too situational, requires far too much setup and strategic playing. That's far too complex for what you would be using Grimmsnarl for. Personally, I think it could have had a much better hidden ability, something that would have really made its G-Max form shine. Because Frisk and Prankster, in my opinion, are more supportive abilities. They're not there for G-Max Grimmsnarl. Maybe Frisk, you could argue. It's weak to Poison, Fairy, and Steel. There's not too many Steel types running around the format at the moment, as far as I know, besides Duraludon and Ferrothorn. Poison types, you've got Venusaur comes to mind. Fairy types, Togekiss is extremely common. So that is unfortunate. It does resist Ghost though, and it's immune to Dragon and Psychic, which is nice. It's pretty nice. Everything else though seems to be pretty standard. Right, it's got two signature moves, Spirit Break and Full Surrender. Spirit Break will turn into a 130 base power move, which is nice, and it also lowers the target's special attack stat, meaning you can weaken Togekiss effectively, although most of them are Crit Kiss, so you do have to be careful. Full Surrender is 80 base power, and this attack can never miss, which is pretty cool. Other notable moves, it's got Fake Out, Fake Tears, which is pretty useful. Swagger, this had a lot of use with Own Temple Mudsdale at the start of the format. Sucker Punch, great priority move, does turn into only 120 base power max move though, compared to Full Surrender's 130. What else we got? Play Rough if you want a stronger standard fairy type moves. It's got the Elemental Punches, Thunder Wave, Light Screen, and Reflect. Protect, pretty standard. Does have Scary Face, I don't think you'd use that though. What else we got? Brick Break, I don't think you'll find much use for that either. Same with Drain Punch. Does have Shadow Claw, which does lower the defense of targets if you use Max Phantasm, although it'd be pretty weak though, I think 120 base power. Stomping Tantrum, I don't think you'd use that either. Leech Life. What else we got? Crunch, I don't think you'd really use that. Taunt, that's useful. Trick, Superpower. This does turn into 100 base power Max Knuckle, although without the stab behind it, it's still not very strong, but it is a way for Grimmsnarl to boost its attack stat. Power Whip, pretty nice there. Does that bulk up as well. Dark Accelerate, Throat Chop, Body Press, not going to use that. Burning Jealousy, I don't think you can use that either. It does have Lash Out, which does turn into a 130 base power move as well, which is actually pretty cool because if you do get intimidated, you're not going to want to max, so you could fire off about double base power Lash Out, which would effectively be 130 base power, the same as a max move, so that's pretty cool. Right, so G-Max Snooze, a dark type attack that Gigantamax Grimmsnarl uses. The user lets loose a huge yawn that lulls the targets into falling asleep on the next turn. Now, I've got a big problem with this. This is very misleading. G-Max Snooze only works 50% of the time, and it only affects the Pokemon you target. So unlike other max moves and G-Max moves, this doesn't affect both targets. If you use G-Max Snooze on, say, Togekiss, whilst Charizard is on the field with it, it's only going to have 50% chance of working on Charizard. I think this move personally needs a big buff. I know Sleep is very strong, but the yawn effect does give you a turn to either set up terrain to prevent yourself falling asleep or switching out, so you do have a play around, unlike pure going straight to sleep. I personally think a way to fix this and make this better is to either allow Gmax Snooze to hit both targets and only have 50% chance of activating, each one being a roll per Pokemon, or have Gmax Snooze activate 100% of the time on only the targeted Pokemon. I think that would actually make Gmax Snooze relatively useful, because at the moment it's pretty crappy. You're not going to really use it. It's not a great max move. It's a shame, really, because I think, again, like I said, Gmax Grimmsnarl is absolutely amazing. Its shiny form looks absolutely beautiful as well. No faults whatsoever. Huge fan of design. I also don't like the way its stats are distributed either. 95 HP is solid, 120 attack is very solid, 65 defense is bad, 95 special attack. You don't use special Grimmsnarl unless you're running some sort of gimmicky set. Most of the time they're going to be running a physical set, so this is complete waste. 95 base point here. 75 base defense isn't too bad, it's not great. 60 base speed. Grimmsnarl doesn't look like a fast Pokemon, so I'm not too worried about its base speed. I really wish though it only had like 60 base special attack, you know, put another 5 in HP, maybe add another 20 to defense, or whatever. Then you've got a more solid, more overall bulky Pokemon that kind of fits to what it's supposed to be doing Gigantamax wise, which is be threatening and strong, possibly even give it a better hidden ability as well. Next we're going to go over to Pokemon Showdown. We're going to have a look at the sets I made. So the first set is a pure offense Grimmsnarl. Right, so I do have the ability Frisk here. Now, the only issue I have with running Frisk over Prankster, I know Prankster has no use when you're Gigantamax, because you don't have priority status type moves in Gmax form. They turn into Max Guard. But when you lead Grimmsnarl and your opponent sees Frisk activate, they're going to automatically think, so this guy either isn't very competitively knowledgeable, which I wouldn't bank on, or they're going to guess that you're running a Gigantamax Grimmsnarl, where, you know, they know full well, if you're playing against someone who has knowledge, that Prankster is no, Frisk has no use on being a supported Grimmsnarl. So with that in mind, it does give it away a little bit, but we do have Lash Out, Spirit Break and Fire Punch. If you do get intimidated, you have the option to knock Gigantamax straight away. You could run, I mean, it turns into 130 base power move. You could run Sucker Punch if you wanted to. It does have 10 less base power, but it does give you that priority in attacking something like Dragapult before you Gigantamax, so that is an option as well. Very safe play if you ask me. Spirit Break, kind of a basic strong max fairy type move there, as well as the option to lower special attack. Grimmsnarl does get the elemental punches as well as Power Whip. It does also have Fake Out, which turns into what is it? I forgot what the normal type one, max normal, whatever it is. And this does lower speed by 1 stage. And you have Protect. Now you could put Prankster as well as Thunder Wave, so you have a little bit more surprise factor to your Grimmsnarl. Otherwise, in terms of EVs and IVs, we've got Adamant Nature. 212 in speed allows you to outspeed Dragapult under Tailwind, or if you Thunder Waved it. Max attack for as max damage output as possible, and the rest I've just put in HP. You could put them in speed. It's entirely up to you, but that's just how I did mine. Right, so that's pretty standard there, to be honest with you. Like I said, you could even put Assault Fest if you really wanted to. You could make it slightly more bulky, put Assault Fest, put Power Whip here or something, I don't know. You know, take the speed and put it in HP, make it nice and bulky. Won't be as fast, but that is what it is. You could run Assault Fest. Personally though, I don't think you should be running an Assault Fest set. I would stick with the Life Orb set for this one personally, but you could still run 4 moves if you really wanted to with Frisk. Second set is a more supportive Grimmsnarl. Well, I mean, I say supportive Grimmsnarl. This Grimmsnarl set is still designed to Gigantamax. The only difference here is that it's designed to be able to work outside of it as well. So you lead Grimmsnarl, You got the standard fake out. You know, before your Gigantamax, you can fake out an opponent, make something not move for a turn if you know it's not going to Gigantamax or protect. You've got Thunder Wave there for speed control for both your Grimmsnarl and your partner. A Sucker Punch allows you to dish out some heavy damage to, say, Dragapult. Spirit Breaker's there, a very good move, a very useful tech. Now, this Grimmsnarl does have Prankster because of Thunder Wave, and because most Grimmsnarls you see lead, you're going to automatically assume they're a supportive set. Now, the thing with this set is it doesn't run any defensive EVs. It does run max HP. Sorry, that's actually wrong, actually. This is supposed to be 228, I believe. Yes, so it's actually running 228 HP, max attack, so it can hit as hard as possible, as well as 28 speed EVs. This does allow you to outspeed Charizard after a Tailwind or Thunder Wave, but also it allows you to speed creep other base 60, such as Incineroar, Tyranitar, Primarina, all that kind of stuff, which can be useful in head-to-head situations where you could win based off that speed tier. Because Grimmsnarl is relatively slow, though, it doesn't mind too much if Trick Room goes up, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's really beneficial though either. I do have Rosalia Bear on this to weaken fairy type moves coming off, say, Pixelate Sylveon or Togekiss, for example. You could change this though. You could put Badbury Berry. You could even put Life Orb as well if you wanted to. The nice thing about this set is though, you can lead this set, you can even play around that you are a supportive set with Fake Out and Thunder Wave, and then a couple turns later with Grimmsnarl still looking nice and healthy, you can be like, surprise Mother Ducker, Gigantamax this bad boy, fire off some G-Max Snoozes that probably won't work, or some Max Starfalls, all that good stuff. You can even put screens here over Thunder Wave and Fake Out. You can put Reflect, Light Scream, Light Clay, you know, get yourself a bit of defensive boost before you max. Probably not recommended, but option is there. Right, so in terms of that though, they're probably two of the most normal Gigantamax set. Like I said, it does have a nice bunch of moves like Power Whip, Elemental Punches, Fake Out does turn into Max Strike. I can't remember what it's called now. It does lower their speed. But in terms of partners, firstly we've got Talonflame here with Gale Wing, sorry. This does give you access to priority type flying type moves when you're max HP, such as Tailwind and Brave Bird. The nice thing about Talonflame is it is actually faster than Whimsicott. So if you're head to head with another Tailwind user, your Talonflame will be able to Tailwind first. I don't know what sort of relevance that is if the opponent's Pokemon is faster than you than your Grimmsnarl. It's not really that much use, but it's a thing, you know. I have got the Focus Sash, Flare Blitz and Brave Bird. Because Grimmsnarl is weak to poison type moves, having Flare Blitz and Brave Bird does hit very super effective damage. You could put Dual Wing Beat over Brave Bird if you wanted to, but you do lose a lot of power, which is a little bit of annoyance. Protect is in the 4th slot, but Talonflame does have some more useful moves such as Taunt if you wanted to shut down Trick Room Pokemon, etc. Right, next we have Whimsicott. The nice thing about Whimsicott, again, has priority Tailwind, makes Grimmsnarl move nice and fast, but Whimsicott also has Helping Hand, which allows you to not only make Grimmsnarl move fast, but make it hit much harder as well, which it kind of does need and like. Energy Ball there for coverage, and so you're not Taunt Bane, and Protect, so you can protect yourself against Fake Out, because otherwise Whimsicott does become very Fake Out vulnerable, which is a shame. Otherwise, the last partner I've got listed here is actually Follow Me in DD Female. You can redirect those moves away from Grimmsnarl if they're not spread. Helping Hand, boost Grimmsnarl's damage output. Expanding Force hits those poison types for a super effective damage, as well as hitting both opponents if Psychic Surge is up. And Protect is just a useful move. And you could put no, it doesn't learn Trick Room, sorry. I've got a Relaxed Nature, so this always underspeeds Rillaboom if they're running any sort of speed IV, so you do get that terrain control, although you do have to watch out because Grimmsnarl can set up Misty Terrain, so you do have to be careful. Otherwise, max HP and defense, Psychic Surge will activate Psychic Seed, boosting your special attack plus special defense, +1, making you nice and bulky, ready to support Grimmsnarl. I have been over to Picalytics. But the unfortunate thing is all the Grimmsnarl sets on here are for supported sets, because no one uses Gigantamax Grimmsnarl, so unfortunately this isn't a lot of help. But as you can see, they're all purely, you know, defensive spreads. You know, you've got a couple of offensive ones here if you go really far down, but it's a shame really. Gmax Grimmsnarl isn't very useful. Same with Badbrig on there. Whilst there is a few teams, they are based around Grimmsnarl supporting its teammates rather than being used as the main attraction of the team. Otherwise, yeah, that's what I could come up with for Gmax Grimmsnarl. This isn't a video about how to use Grimmsnarl for regular use. This is about purely Gigantamax Grimmsnarl if you wanted to make Gigantamax Grimmsnarl work. I couldn't think of anything else to really make it beneficial. The only way it can hit steel types is through either Max Flare or Max Knuckle. As far as I'm aware, it can't really hit fairy type moves outside of Togekiss with Max Lightning. Could be wrong. And poison types, it needs that Max Flare. Yeah, I mean, it's got Max Quake as well for steel types. But yeah, right. So I think that's pretty much it, to be honest with you. Let me know, have you used Gmax Grimmsnarl yet? Competitively, that is. Do you plan to use it? Do you want to use it? I really wanted to give it a go right at the start of the format until I started learning about the Pokemon. And it's just not very Gigantamax friendly. I think it needs a lot of work. I think Gmax News needs a bit of a buff. I think it needs a better hidden ability to really make its Gmax form shine. A better stat distribution wouldn't hurt either. I know it's asking a lot, and we'll probably get none of them, but you know, we can all live and hope. But if you found any other ways to use Gigantamax Grimmsnarl, do let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear them. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please do consider subscribing. Otherwise, that is all for today, and I will see you all later. Rob out.